Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be giving, we're going to be looking at a scenario in which the Roman Empire came back in 2023. So these are roughly the borders. Some of this land, especially like up here and a few spots over here, were just influenced, what would present day be like a puppet government by the Roman Empire. But if you search up Roman Empire border, just Roman Empire, go to the images, and this should be about what you see on the second one. So yeah, not my fault if it's not perfect, but we can't exactly know when their exact height was or how it was exactly, so this is the best we have to work with. With that, I think we just go and get started with some of the stats of this absolute beast. It is massive population-wise. It has hundreds of millions. When it comes to capital options here would be Rome, Paris, Madrid, London, maybe Athens, Istanbul. I'm just stating all of the large cities that could do it. Cairo or Alexandria, Tunis. Just some of the larger cities that could make up the capital. Baghdad even. Yeah. There are some options. It would most likely just be Rome, the historical capital, but you can't know for certain. So we're going to go ahead and assume that it's Rome, but it could be something else. So let's go ahead and begin it, and they're going to do pretty much what I did when I did the Mongol Empire comes back, and absolutely demolish some of these weaker nations, such as whatever's left of Iraq. Honestly, not much left. The country instantly falls, and honestly, I'm just going to color in all the countries that are gone now, because this new Roman Empire just pushes into them, and they honestly do not stand any form of a chance here. They're just too weak. Tunisia, Morocco stays stable, but yeah, Tunisia just completely abandons themselves. Austria, Hungary, not as many as there was with the Mongol Empire, but the Mongol Empire was larger. Also soon I'm going to be doing, I don't know, I got a comment about one of them. That one's going to take a little while because it's lesser known, but I am going to try and make any empire you give me. If it's a bit more random, just expect it to take a bit more time. Although soon I am planning to do some of the larger ones. The UK Empire, of course, French Colonial Empire, German Reich, all of those. So yeah, with that, like I said, the Romans are just annexing any countries near them that are too weak to exist as a surviving state. Which, yeah, they're all just annexed. And now comes the part where they declare war on all the left weak countries, which include Algeria, Libya, and Egypt, who have all lost a majority of their coast, along with Egypt losing a majority of the Nile, leading to them being incredibly weak. The Roman Empire, yeah, it's not going to be very difficult for them here. They don't actually push into the Sahara. All these countries just instantly surrender. There's no point in fighting this thing unless you're some kind of superpower like the USA. There's just not even a point. This new Roman Empire, automatically right off the bat, I'd say second strongest, ahead of China, behind the US, but very close to the USA. With all of this recent expansion, maybe they'd already be in first. Maybe. Keyword there's maybe. Maybe. Although we already do see a lot of alliances being formed up around them. As in the Mongol Empire, a few alliances are made. One over here with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Oman, Sudan, and Eritrea. And yeah, well, that's just the first alliance. We also see one being made over here in Northern Europe between Germany, Poland, Czechia, Denmark, the Netherlands, Scotland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. A bit of a weaker one, but the Nordics are soon to join, as with Slovakia. But the Romans are just going to be doing what the Mongols did, pretty similar, just in their own way in a completely different part of the world, and declare war on any countries they can. With that, Slovakia completely gets abolished by the Romans. There's no real way of putting how quickly they fall. But yeah, the Romans are now quickly advancing from second place to first place, with a declaration of war on Romania and Moldova at the same time. which for this massive empire, not going to be a huge issue. Bucharest and a lot of important Romanian cities are already captured, so just a tiny bit of push in. Same thing with Moldova, and both countries capitulate. With that, yeah, the Roman Empire is just doing what they want when they want, and they get what they want. They do see a few issues pushing around, but overall it's not too bad. They also continue their push into Morocco and a few of these islands. Yeah, once again, not going to be very difficult for them. This Roman Empire is just an insanely powerful figure, and they're eventually actually going to go to war with some of the powerful alliances that surround them. Basically, their plan here is we have to take out this German and Polish alliance before the USA joins in. They go ahead and do this. They might be a bit too late, but their options were basically declare war now or wait for the USA to join the alliance, and then you have to deal with the US and all of these European countries. Of course, they choose to do it now, as they may be, it's definitely close with the USA, maybe a tiny bit stronger. At this point, though, Sweden and Finland had already joined, although Norway was still just in the process, so Norway's going to be saved here, not for long, but for now, as was Scotland. And Northern Ireland, who was with them. We also see the Roman Empire going ahead and declaring war on Ireland. And yeah, this is just the Romans versus what's left of Europe. It's going to be close, but it's not going to be very difficult. With that, the Romans quickly capture Prague and the Czech Republic. They also push up, capture Amsterdam and all that's left of the Netherlands. Begin to push across the German border, although they have invested heavily a lot of the money they had left into military, along with across the Polish border. Warsaw is actually quickly captured as the Romans focus on Poland, while still sending a good amount of troops into Germany, who was actually, Germanic tribes are one of the reasons the Romans first died, so maybe they want some revenge here. Let's put it that way. With that, they continue to push into Scotland as well, with all of it falling. And Ireland holds on for now, but that won't last long as Berlin falls, and Hamburg is soon to follow. With the fall of Hamburg, they begin to push up into Denmark and capture Copenhagen. They also make a landing in Sweden. Yeah, this is all happening incredibly quickly. We actually see a lot more countries joining this new Saudi Arabian pact, including Chad, Niger, Cameroon, Mali, Mauritania, Western Sahara, Senegal, Guinea, Burkina Faso, the Ivory Coast, Somalia, and Djibouti. Yeah, quite a few countries. We also see Iran making an alliance with Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. And we see a new very weak alliance between Ukraine, Norway, and Iceland. That's not going to last very long, but hey, at least they're trying here. Germany fully falls along with Denmark, leading to more landings being made in Sweden. And it's just, they're all dying. It's all gone. It's all dying. A lot of important Polish cities are captured, including a majority of the country, leaving only the Baltic states, some of Sweden, Finland, and the island of Ireland. A landing is made there, capturing all of Northern Ireland, pushing down. And yeah, I don't even have to explain this to you. We all know what's going to happen. The Romans are pushing in. And yeah, it's over. It's over incredibly quickly. Most people are actually surprised how quickly the Roman Empire is able to take out all these countries. Soon after that, I already mentioned how a new alliance was made between Ukraine, Norway, and Iceland. And I also mentioned how that was going to fall very quickly. That's about to happen right now, as war is declared. Honestly, would these countries even bother fighting? Maybe, maybe not. But in the end, they would fall surprisingly quickly. You'd be surprised. This Roman Empire is stronger than you could possibly imagine, and that strength is only growing. Day by day, the USA makes their official alliance, although it's a bit too late to save most of Europe. Yet it's not too late to save a few other countries, as the USA, Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, Peru, Argentina, and Chile make a new American alliance. We also see Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea joining, along with India making their own alliance, which is just with Bhutan and Nepal for now, but more countries will join that. And Yemen joins the Iranian alliance. See, I'm not going to draw them in every single time I say it, but just if you need to know what the alliances are going on, I'll state it every once in a while. Although, yeah, the Romans are growing so quickly, I don't think it's going to matter much what alliances there still are. Their biggest war to come soon is probably going to be with Russia, but before they can actually declare war on Russia, they join the Iranian alliance, making it just an Eastern alliance. Although China refuses to join, as they don't see the new Roman Empire as a threat. They will soon, but not yet. Not quite yet. This is a massive superpower. It controls a majority of Europe and a good portion of Northern Africa, along with a small part of the Middle East. Yeah, it's just seen as a superpower. No other way of putting it. It's the simplest way of describing this new empire. Yeah. With that though, they actually don't get the information that Belarus had joined the alliance. They knew Russia had, but Belarus had too, leading to their next biggest war, and probably their most difficult one here, that they're gonna have to deal with, and that's a war with the new with this new Iranian alliance, which consisted of a few random countries. It's kind of dispersed, but I mean, if you look at it, it kind of makes sense. We also see that North Korea joined this. No, actually not North Korea. So yeah, that just happened. The new Roman Empire, although being considered a great world power, is actually going to be tested here, as this alliance is considered one of the most powerful on the earth. And yeah, let's just see how it goes. With that though, pretty quickly, Roman troops were ready for this, whilst Russian and Iranian maybe not so much. The Romans actually quickly pushed into Iran. Later leaked plans showed that they were planning this invasion very soon, along with pushing into southern Russia, meeting up along the Black Sea. And this isn't going to be as difficult as they thought it was, as Russia looks very powerful, but do this to show their population. All of this is nothing. Yeah, they look a whole lot weaker now, don't they? Yeah, pretty much. But Iran's not going to last long, as Tehran has fallen, and with only further instabilities in the country, Iran is forced to surrender. They don't want to, but as I've already stated, they have no choice. They do not surrender, they capitulate. There is a difference. With that, Afghanistan, well, they begin a push, but they don't really see this as a huge opportunity for land gain. They'll capitulate them just as quickly, with Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Afghanistan still in the war. They start to dedicate a majority of their military over here to Russia, which is of course the strongest country here. Although after seeing what's happening in Ukraine, their logistical capabilities are much weaker than we expected. St. Petersburg is captured, along with all of southern Russia, and a push towards Moscow is started. Just the whole broad front line. No spearheads. The Romans just absolutely go for it. With that, this actually turns out to be working, as this is an old Roman Empire, and new modern strategies consist of a lot more of this. Just encirclement after encirclement. The Romans aren't going for that. The Romans are just going for one big broad front line. And this works, as they capture Moscow, and honestly, I don't see Russia surviving much after that. As I said before, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, and whatnot cannot keep the blue team alive on their own. And holy crap, the Romans just took that down. Yeah, that's really going to make them into the superpower they need. China officially makes their own alliance, And we actually see the US's alliance uniting with India's, along with invading some African and more Oceanian countries. This is going to be the only alliance that I think could actually stand up to the Roman Empire, as the Russian attempt at a powerful alliance has failed, and Russia has been split into two, the part annexed by the Romans, and Siberia, which has turned into a Roman puppet. If you're wondering why China made their own alliance, that's why. They now share a border with a puppet of the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire itself just grew, at least in size, a lot, which may not count for as much as population or economy, but size can still impact something. We also see the Saudi Arabian alliance uniting with the US's, as the world is now seeing either join the US's alliance or die. Although some of the world actually chooses to join to join China's alliance instead. That includes Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, North Korea, and just a few other countries spotted around the world. So yeah, your options aren't much here. It's be in an alliance or die. Most countries would rather be in an alliance. Alright, yeah, let's just go ahead and finish coloring in these new Roman borders. Huge ones at that. Yeah, if there was any hope of Russia keeping the title of world's largest country, that's gone now. There's no more Russia. It's Siberia and the Roman Empire now. There's also no more Belarus. There's technically still an Iran, though. So that survived. Although all of these countries are forced to pay war reparations if you didn't lose any land, economies are in cripples, but the Roman economy is doing great. You know, invading nations and stealing absolutely everything they own. Who would have guessed? The war works out horribly for you, but if you ravage every last resource that the country that you invaded had, hey, you can keep yourself going. The Romans just found that out. Although this isn't going to keep them going forever, as they have to take the final few countries before the world unites into just this one alliance. And this Roman Empire is growing very, very strong, but they still could not take on pretty much all of the Americas and a good portion of Africa, Oceania, and Asia as well. That would include the USA, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, India, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, Vietnam, all these strong countries. They can also not take on China, Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, North Korea, Kazakhstan. Wow, that alliance is much weaker. Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and yeah, that alliance is a lot weaker. They could actually probably take that on. But for now, that's a bit too far away for the Romans, as they go ahead, declare war on this new African alliance, as basically the original Saudi Arabian part broke off, which is just the Gulf. The rest of these guys stayed in an alliance, and that's going to come back to kill them. They're a bit too slow at joining in on the US's alliance, and whilst the rest of these countries did get to do it, the countries who are currently in blue were not fast enough. And that's going to cost them their autonomy. So yeah, the world now sees join US or China. Actually, a lot of Africa chooses to join China or die. Neither of those is preferable for most nations, but yeah. Let's go and begin this war with Roman troops quickly pushing down the Sudanese coast and capturing all of Eritrea. They also begin to push down the Nile, capturing a majority of Sudan and causing the country to surrender, with only foreign troops being still put on its soil. They also begin a small push into the Sahara with specially trained divisions from Algeria, Libya, and Egypt, along with Morocco, although their main push is along the coast, capturing all of Mauritania and Western Sahara's coast, whilst making a landing in Guinea and Sierra Leone, pushing into Mali's important lands, same thing with Burkina Faso, Ghana, Benin, and Niger. Yeah, that was fast. Chad, hey, Chad's still alive. Everyone else is dead, but Chad's still alive. Chad's still going. Chad's going strong. Actually, no, they aren't. Even Giga Chad can't stop this, as Chad is forced to surrender. And with that, the last, basically still... Actually, all of these countries were in an alliance. It just wasn't a strong enough alliance. Yeah, that just led to any countries who were not either in China or the US' alliance to die. Let's go ahead and look at these final Roman borders. And holy crap, are they strong. They don't well, actually, they have a few puppets. They have their own alliance, the most powerful in the world. Although they still don't want to go to war with some of the other ones, as going to war with the US would be so long and drawn out that there's really no point in it. If you didn't already know, there are 130 guns per 100 Americans, which means that per capita, each American has 1.3 guns to their name. Yeah, and they're willing to use them. Sometimes not for the best reasons, but they are willing to use them indefinitely against foreign invaders. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to invade the US. They really shouldn't. It's most likely going to lead to their death. But let's go ahead and finish drawing these borders, and I can show you what the world ended up looking like after the Roman Empire's up. There is no world. There's China. There's the Chinese sphere, the American sphere, and the Romans. Wow, is this powerful? I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know any other empires you want to see, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.